Got my van back together. Doesn't it look a lot better than it did in the last video that I showed of it, with the whole front end off and everything? Yeah, it's really kind of amazing. I was thinking about that little rental car we had, and you know how underneath that thing it looks just about like this. You know, I mean, really it's just a machine. If you look at my previous video, you'll see that, you know, this thing look way different without the front end on it. But you know, this is all just plastic. This is plastic, here is plastic, and it's all just held together with a bunch of plastic tabs. But this is something I was going to show you here. I'm going to get the van up because I'm working on the brakes right now, and I was really just wanting to point out this one little thought with this video. You know, people give me grief, if you can believe it, for working on my own vehicles. I've had people comment and say, you know, you should take it to a real mechanic. You know, you're putting your family's life in danger, and stuff like that. It's like, what are you talking about? You know, I mean, like, here's an example of what I'm talking about. Would a real, so-called real mechanic go to this kind of trouble to take and scratch away, and I've already done it, so there's not really much for me to show you here, but scratch away the crud that builds up here around this? I feel like my dental hygienist, you know, when she's cleaning the calcium off my teeth, you know, by doing this. But, you know, the only reason why I'm doing this right now, scraping this stuff off, there's a little bit that's coming off there, is really quite simple. It's just to make it so my clips will fit in there properly without being too, you know, pushed out. Yes, what I mean is, okay, where's my clip? There it is. And I done shined up my clip too. That thing was all full of brake dust and everything. But let me blow on this thing. I cover the lens here. There. Get some of the brake dust off there. Also, if you're doing your own brakes, you don't want to breathe the brake dust. So it's best I take my air compressor and blow it all around with a little mask I wear and my safety glasses. But anyway, so this clip pops right in there now. Just sits right in there. And you know, if it weren't cleaned out, you know, with the built up of crud and everything, it would kind of pinch this together a little bit. You know, this would be pinched together. Then the old brake pad wouldn't sit on there and slide like it should. Now this is a brake pad that, you know, I put on about a year ago, and it's worn down not too much. Now the other side wore down quick, and one of the reasons why is because there's these pins here that are supposed to go in and out and move freely. That'll help release the brake. I didn't do that on the other side when I changed it a year ago. You know, and there's a friend of mine who helps me with info on how to do this stuff. Last year when I was changing the other brake pad on the other side, I didn't take his advice and oil grease up that pin there, so that thing wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't flex. And it's supposed to, you know, supposed to slide in and out. And anyways, I didn't do that, so it caused the brakes to pinch together. Okay, well, anyways, I'm getting way off the point of what I was going to say. You know, really, I was going to point out here, so those folks that come by and they give you grief, you know, for stuff. When really, you know, here on YouTube, any one of us that put videos out, we're just kind of, you know, we're sticking our neck out, really, and we're sharing with people, you know, little personal things, really, little bits of our own lives that we're just trying to help. You know, like I got a video I'm going to be putting out here, Lord willing, coming up, of you know, something I did with my van a few weeks back where I fixed up a pulley, and you know, more than likely some goober's going to come along and they're going to gripe and say something, you know, that's, you know, not very kind. And so, okay, I'm going to relate this to spiritually. This kind of stuff happens all the time too, and you know what I'm talking about. Christian people go out on YouTube, want to share the gospel with folks, and they just get grief. And I want to just say that, hey, look, if that's happening to you, don't let it discourage you. Just keep on working for the Lord and sharing the things that the Lord's shown to you, and let those naysayers come along and, you know, have at it with their silly little comments, and just keep going, okay? don't worry about it. You know, just like I'll keep working on my van, because once again, you know, no crony grease monkey's going to go to the trouble of making sure that that stuff's clean in there, so that that clip, you know, they'll just change it. They'll throw the other pads on, and your brakes will wear down all the quicker. You have to go back to Mr. Joe Grease Monkey, and you know, you'll be owing the man. So, hey, if you ever want me to do a video on showing how to repair brakes, I'll be glad to. Just let me know in the comment section below. In the meantime, I'm gonna double check my. Speaking of grease monkeys, I'm gonna check the grease on this thing and see if it needs to be greased up again. Sounds a little rusty and crusty in there. Maybe I should. Okay, so I'll get to work on that. And I just say here, thanks for watching. Well, it turns out that pin was a little rusty and crusty, so I'm going to sand her down, smooth it up a little bit. You can see some of the gunky old grease in there too. That grease didn't stay greasy. It turned to like rubber gunk. So, sand that down, slop a little grease on it, poke it in, we'll be good to go. Once again, would your friendly neighborhood mechanic man do that?